So I'm not really surprised. Dropshipping is actually now really dead. So I'm going to be talking about the new regulations that are being proposed as far as e-commerce space and dropshipping is concerned. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Money. Before I get into the video, a quick disclaimer. Please note that the information I will be sharing here today should be treated as an educational information only. Please do not treat it as legal advice, finance, business, or any other sort of advice. So do you know that there is a proposed amendment to Section 321 of the Imports Law here in the US? That particular section deals with the Minimis rules or the procedure. For those who aren't so familiar with that rule allows persons who want to import items from outside of the country to import items that isn't above $800 in purchase value to import freely without having to pay any sort of import duties. However, that section also limits certain categories of products that will still be subject to import rules. But today I will be talking about the proposed amendments to Section 321. Please note also that this video is going to be in two parts because talking about this proposed amendments is going to be longer. So I intended not to have the video longer than just about 10 or 11 minutes. Now, what is the proposed amendment to Section 321? Simply put, it is the Fighting for America bill. Now, it is a bill, it is not yet a law. It is a bill that is being sponsored by certain senators in the United States. And I will be discussing the reasons for the proposed amendment to this particular Section 321, which is popularly known as the de minimis rule. Now, why are these senators or why are these lawmakers looking to amend this particular section? So there are a few things to note. First off, I want to say thank you so much to the blog of the Law Office of Morgan Lewis. I got most of the information related to the proposed bill from this blog, so you guys could also check it out for additional information. Now, this bill is targeted as Section 321 and also certain importers of certain consumer products within the US. It is also the understanding that it is particularly for certain foreign suppliers or producers of certain products that are imported into the US. So if you happen to be that person who is involved in the e-commerce space and in particular the dropshipping business, then you want to reconsider your options. You want to look through this law and see how it does affect your business model. And that's one of the reasons I keep saying that the dropshipping model is dead. So if you are in that space, I want to believe that this proposed amendment is largely going to affect you as a business person. And if you happen to be, it's just simply a consumer of products that are imported under Section 321, you may also be affected in certain ways. That's why I said this video is going to be a really long video, which I can't even finish in one part. So I will most likely share a part 2 of this video, say by next week. Now, so what are the things that we want to consider if you might be affected by this amendment? But before I get into that, as I said earlier, the main crux of the entirety of this amendment has to do with importation, taxation, tariffs, and the earnings within the US. It is my understanding that the proponents of this amendment or the bill are particular about the United States, and that's why the bill is called Fighting for America. So let me just tell you what that fighting basically means. It means fighting illicit goods, helping trustworthy importers and netting gains for America Act. So that's the bill. That's what it's called. So for easy referencing, it is called the Fighting for America Act. It is a bill proposed to amend Section 321 of the import law. So there are a lot of things that you want to consider if you are in the e-commerce space and if you are into dropshipping, because it's really going to affect the dropshipping space. So I will be discussing some of these things in the coming scenes, and like I said earlier, I won't be able to discuss everything in this video because there's a whole lot to consider. It is also my understanding that this proposed bill is the main target of focus is certain e-commerce companies that are outside of the US that do sell products to persons within the US. And it is also my understanding that these e-commerce companies have largely taken advantage of Section 321 of this particular import law to carry out their business. So my understanding so far is that the reasons behind the proposed amendment of this law is to curtail to a large extent these e-commerce, companies. And the rationale behind that is that they say that some of these e-commerce companies, if not all, abuse the use of Section 321. So what they do usually is when they import products within the US under the premise of Section 321, and by that means they do not pay import duties. They are not able to render adequate accounts to the US government, and that invariably affects the income or the earnings of the US government. So if you are that person who is into the e-commerce dropshipping space and you are totally or heavily reliant on these businesses, I think that it's about time to start changing strategy for your business. At a point when I started business, I was advised to go the dropshipping route in order to conserve finances and all. I think that when I started, I had about 1 or 2 dropship products to a customer, but I just told myself this is not meant for me. I had to realign the business because really it wasn't really in tandem with what I wanted the business to do. Now, the bill proposes to prohibit certain categories of products from being imported through Section 321. And my understanding is that some of this product would include apparels, textiles, and some leather goods. Another thing is that there will be prohibition of products and also additional data collection. So the additional data collection by the CBP is to target unlawful imports. I do not have all the details concerning that. I will be sharing more details on that in my next video. So, first things first, there will be certain products that would be prohibited from being brought within the confines of Section 321. Another thing is that there will be streamlined, procedures for certain products, and there will be also an increased penalty for violation. So if there's a violation of the amended, bill of the amendment, when it becomes law, it is not going to be the way it used to be anymore. And I also understand that if you must import products under Section 321, by the proposed amendments, a fee would have to be paid per shipment. So if you are in the e-commerce space, and particularly the dropshipping space, these new propositions might really affect you or affect your sort of business model. So if you are also that person looking into starting your e-commerce business via dropshipping, you also really want to consider whether or not this is the route you want to go. And if you must, I advise that you seek the advice of legal representatives or your finance advisors to guide you on how to go about it. So, is there something to worry or reconsider about? Yes, there's something to reconsider. I am not that person that would say you should worry. There's no need to worry, but you should perhaps start thinking of how to realign your business model in anticipation of this proposed amendment. It is not yet a law. It is still a bill. It will have to go through the lawmaking process to become a law. And the moment it becomes a law, it will become effective. Like I said, I would make a part 2 of this video so that it is all more encompassing and for you to know the major things that you should consider when you are in here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.